Willkommen zu einem neuen Video, zum Reaktionsvideo von Star Wars. Genau, das ist wirklich 4:3, die Effekte. The special effect, this Star Wars visual effects from 80s to Tauntauns. 4:3 Format.
The chess pieces are actually rubber figures wired with movable joints. Using stop-action photography, every movement of the creatures is filmed one frame at a time. When played back, the creatures come to life in continuous motion.
Stop motion.
They are then added to the chessboard. The Falcon, in which the intrepid
Kein fettes Ding. Keine CGI-Scheiße. Ein wahres Modell vor einer blauen Wand.
adventurers are traveling, is in fact a model. Designed and built by a Hollywood special effects house, it is photographed by a computer-controlled camera. By photographing the model against a blue screen, it will later be possible to add different backgrounds.
Wie das Ding in den Todesstern fliegt. Genau. Überleg mal. Keine CGI-Scheiße, keine anderen abgeklaute Kacke, die da einfach eingefügt wurde. Das ist übel geil.
And other moving objects to the scene. This can be done by means of double and triple exposures. The work is painstaking and precise. It is an endeavor where details count.
Der schaltet es noch. Seht ihr die Teufelsfüße?
To match the director's concept for this
Das wurde noch gezeichnet,
scene,
ne?
without actually building a huge and expensive set, the filmmakers
Guck mal, da geht's gar nicht runter.
resort to what is called a glass painting shot. Thousands of miles from the stage in England, a California artist paints a background on glass that will later surround the scene in which Alec Guinness appears. A blank spot is left on the glass painting for the live-action scene filmed on the London stage.
Das ist Glas!
The glass painting is then photographed, and the scene with Alec Guinness will be incorporated within it. The final effect is a masterful illusion.
Illusion. Kein CGI. Alles gezeichnet. Die TIE Fighter! Aufgezeichnet.
For the space-age dogfight, detailed models are used. With the computer controls developed especially for Star Wars, it was possible to film the elements for this sequence with a freedom never before exercised in motion picture production. By controlling the motion of the camera and by remembering those motions, the
Ja, mit bisschen CGI.
on the model, miniature planes are wired with small charges. It took 2 years and $3.5 million to do the Star Wars miniature and optical effects.
2,3 Millionen Dollar. Was? 2,3 Palme.
This camera provides a pilot's eye view of an attack on the Death Star. Far Thousands of hours are devoted to collecting all the elements necessary for the final sequence.
Die Hälfte waren die Schauspieler gar nicht in den Schiffen.
It's about painstaking craftsmanship.
Heute sitzen die ja in so Kapseln vor so einer grünen Wand, spielen die alles im Schiff.
It's about the teamwork required to place a dream on film.
Wo der Falke drin sitzt, das hat sich wirklich bewegt, das Modell.
To make my Tauntaun move, a miniature of her with a model of me aboard had to be created. That was then photographed one frame at a time through a process known as stop-motion photography at our special effects studio near San Francisco.
Okay. Shooting.
It takes Dennis Murin and Phil Tippett an hour just to make 1 second of stop-motion film. The adjustments between frames of all the tiny moving parts are minuscule, but projected at the proper speed, 24 frames per second. These individual movements will flow seamlessly together. They're actually models which can be carried in the palm of your hand. They were filmed against background paintings and snowscapes months later. The models came in several sizes to match the scale of different live-action shots. The artificial snow is made out of baking soda and microscopic glass bubbles. It took 9 months to design and build these models. Dennis Murin does the stop-motion photography. The animator is John Bird. Once again, each articulated part of the model must be moved, no more than a fraction of an inch between each single frame.
Jetzt sich Star Wars anzugucken, das wird mir schwer fallen.
Exposure in these stop-motion sequences.
Ich find's eigentlich auch echt geil.
The animators shot motion studies of animals in order to perfect the movements of their models. The snowwalkers followed in this elephant's footsteps. Because the live-action footage was finished before most of the special effects were completed, animated sketches, animatics, of the finished sequence were made. They served as moving blueprints for the film editor and the effects people. Orchestration, an artful blending of all the elements in a sequence, is everything in a film like Empire. The pilot's point of view, as they attacked the snowwalkers, was shot on a specially developed camera. It's linked to a computer that remembers each move precisely so that it can be repeated as often as necessary. The television monitor allows the motion control camera operators to see precisely what the camera is seeing and make whatever adjustments are necessary in rehearsal. The speeder's flybys were done with models against a blue screen. The blue screen provides a neutral background so that still more elements.
Let her go.
The explosion will be triggered electrically.
Bang. Yeah, right? That's it. Okay, should we load it?
The explosive charge is a secret concoction formulated to explode spectacularly and burn colorfully. The shot will be made by a high-speed camera that will, in effect, extend the shot so that hours to create this.
Anybody not ready? Okay, let her go.
To make sure the shot is recorded and to give the editor a choice of angles, it is covered by several cameras. This is how the shot was worked into the final sequence. When it has to fly, or seem to, it's a model that's set in motion against a blue screen. The largest of them weighs close to 200 pounds and is 4 feet in diameter. There's another one 2 feet across. Very good for navigating an asteroid field. Yet another is just 5 inches in size. The smallest is only 2 inches. Which one to use in a shot is determined by the scale of other objects in the scene.
Das ist krass, das ist echt krass.
To place a ship in motion in space, a model is shot against a blue screen. This shot is later combined with other elements also photographed against a blue screen, like this Star Destroyer. The Falcon being hit. Each approaching asteroid also had to be shot separately against a blue screen and then combined. A blue screen's blue registers clear when printed on black and white film. From this film, two mats are created, one black on white, the other white on black. Superimposed on separate pieces of color film in printing, one mat generated by the blue screen prevents the foreground object from registering. The other does the same for the background. All the different elements created through blue screen photography must be perfectly aligned when the final composite color print is made. When all that work is done, a background and a foreground shot many months or miles apart can be joined undetectably.
Das war's, also Star Wars Visions.
何百年も前のことよ。ジェダイいう偉大な戦士がこの星にやってきて、うちの祖先がこの宝刀を託される。その刀は常に全力で支え合う。そいつはお前のもんじゃ。
Anime Star Wars, really. Und dann nutzt die Söhne das Logo Lucasfilms. Ihr seid ein Haufen Scheiße. Digga, genau mit.
いつかちゃんと家族になれるから。
最高のライブにしよう。フォースと共にあらんこと。
Aber nochmal da reinzugucken, ist übel krass. Vielen Dank fürs Video zuschauen. Heute kommen wir noch an den 1.8. Requiem. Tschüss.